Thanksgiving week in the NFL is in full force, and today I am going to be updating my quarterback rankings here on NFL Daily, where I'm going to be ranking and putting into tiers all 32 starting NFL quarterbacks in the league today. Welcome into NFL Daily. I'm your host, Jack Sperry, and if you guys want more NFL quarterback content, stuff like that, you guys can find it on my Twitter at Jack_Sperry. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. I put out my weekly quarterback rankings list as well as my top 10 power rankings for the National Football League every single week. So if you want more content from me, you guys can find me at Jack_Sperry. So today we're going to be breaking down 6 tiers of starting NFL quarterbacks: elite superstars, star quarterbacks, high-end starters, good starters, volatile talents, and then also bad starters / developmental QB. So first, guys, let's start from the bottom and go all the way to the top, starting with our worst tier here, tier 6, bad starters and developmental QB. So this can range from anything from a bridge quarterback to a high-end backup that's getting the opportunity to start right now, to a young quarterback that was drafted high and is still very talented but just hasn't been able to put it together at this point in his NFL career, or just somebody that just straight up sucks, like our number 32 overall quarterback. Sorry, Raiders fans, Aiden O'Connell. Now, I know a lot of Raiders fans believe in AOC, but honestly, when you look at the film, I don't see many reasons to believe in AOC. Plain and simply, guys, I don't really have a high level of belief in Aiden. I don't think he's going to have a successful end of his 2024 campaign here. I guess we'll see what happens here, but honestly, Aiden O'Connell really isn't it for me, guys. Number 32, Drew Lock. It does appear, I'm filming this actually on Wednesday, guys, so keep that in mind, but it certainly looks like at the time of me recording this video that Drew Lock's going to start on Thanksgiving. So I have no idea how he's going to play on Thanksgiving, but heading into this one, he is somebody that, he came in Seattle last year and he had a great Monday Night Football performance and, was very clutch in that performance, but just hasn't had the consistency level throughout his career for me to put him any higher on this list at this point. Then number 30, I'll go with Will Levis, and Levis is always still just as talented with his arm as he always has been. He makes some great highlight plays, especially when he's throwing the ball down the field, but his pocket presence is terrible, his accuracy isn't very good, and he makes some really boneheaded decisions, which really put him down this list here at number 30. Then number 29, Bryce Young. Now, I want to make abundantly clear, Bryce played awesome. He played like a star quarterback versus the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Crazy anticipation throws, throwing with touch and accuracy, doing some really, really good stuff against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm very excited to see if Bryce Young can rise up even further on my list here before the end of the season. But one performance isn't going to be enough for me to overreact and put him higher on this list. The general rule with Bryce Young in his career is he hasn't been very good. So although I'm very intrigued by Bryce Young and how he finishes this 2024 season, he's playing a lot better than he was at the beginning of this year. I'm really rooting for him, but right now he still sticks at number 29. Then number 28, I'll go with Anthony Richardson and put him in the bucket as well as somebody that got benched earlier in the year. He came back and now he looks a lot more comfortable. Richardson has had some really high leverage throws and high caliber throws these last 2 weeks. And he's still just as dangerous as he has always been as a rusher. He's a big body. He's dynamic in open space. And this guy makes throws you just simply cannot believe, man. So I'll put Richardson slightly above Bryce Young, but they're both kind of in that same category. Number 27, I'll go with Jameis Winston, who had some nice little plays there against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football last week. And he's somebody that I think is doing a better job protecting the football. But generally, he's more of like a bridge-level quarterback. He's not a franchise-level guy anymore. Then number 26, I think some Jets fans maybe will be upset with me on this one, but Aaron Rodgers is just not a good NFL quarterback anymore, especially because he really requires to have a high level of chemistry with his receivers, and at this point in his career, he doesn't really have time to build up that chemistry that he used to have in Green Bay, where he would have years to build up this chemistry with guys like Jordy Nelson and Devontae Adams and all these guys, and now he really doesn't have time to do that, and he still runs that same kind of offense built on trust and chemistry, which he just doesn't have with the Jets' offensive players. And then also he's not very good getting outside the pocket anymore. He can't really move after that Achilles injury, which has really put a damper on his ability to make plays out of structure. So fill in the blank for me down there in the comments section. Where would you rank Aaron Rodgers right now? It's kind of weird because he still has some good arm talent, can still make highlight level plays and high caliber throws from time to time, but the consistency is no longer there. Where do you guys rank him? Aaron Rodgers is a top blank quarterback in the NFL today. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So YouTube's going to throw you an ad break here in just a couple of seconds. When that happens, take advantage of that time where you rank Aaron Rodgers. Our next category here is volatile talent. So these are players that have high-level flashes, super talented players, and have put some level of consistency together during their NFL career, but I'm not going to put them in the category of good starter because of inconsistency. So number 25, I'll go with Drake May, and I'm very, very encouraged by what I'm seeing from Drake May, man, especially out of structure. He's another one of those guys that makes special plays and special throws. He's got incredible arm talent. He's got superstar potential that I'm hoping to see him develop there in New England, but he's still kind of volatile, still deals with some accuracy issues from time to time, some bad decision-making from time to time. That carries over from his film with the UNC Tar Heels. He still has a little ways to go, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Drake May. The number 24, similar kind of thing with Caleb Williams. Now, since Chicago went to Thomas Brown as their new OC compared to Shane Waldron, he's looked a lot more comfortable. They're putting him under center more, lots more play-action bootlegs, which Caleb can take advantage of his incredible arm talent on the run. He looks a lot more comfortable now, and I do think he's actually doing a really good job seeing the middle of the field, which is something you really want to see in a young quarterback, because that's what he's going to have to do if he's going to become the superstar that he was promised to be coming out of USC. Number 23, I go with Trevor Lawrence. And, Trevor is certainly somebody that puts the ball in harm's way at times. He has trouble with anticipation throws at times, and the accuracy has been spotty this year in particular. He's the highest paid quarterback per season right now in the National Football League, so it's definitely a damper for Jacksonville fans here that I have him ranked this low, but the film is the film, and I believe this is where Lawrence's film warrants his ranking. Number 22, I would slightly take Sam Darnold over Trevor Lawrence, even though they have a similar skill set. They're both very, very talented throwers of the football. They're both bigger guys that can take a little bit of a beating, if you don't have a good offensive line, and they both put the ball in harm's way from time to time. And that is the thing with the Minnesota Vikings. Do the Vikings and Vikings fans really trust Darnold to play really high-caliber football in the National Football League playoffs this year when he's playing the best defenses in the world? We've certainly seen some poor decision-making on Darnold's film this year in Minnesota that has certainly crept up in his previous destinations as well. Number 21, I would take Derek Carr in that Minnesota offense over Sam Darnold right now. Carr has shown you give him a solid pocket and good weapons, he can absolutely bomb the ball down the field and sling that pill. He's got incredible arm talent. He's got a great deep ball. But if you don't put the right infrastructure around him, he really does crumble, and he makes bad decisions. He's got terrible pocket presence, so I'll put him at 21. Then at number 20, I'll put Geno Smith, and I think that Geno's really tough for me because there's incredible throws on his film where he has great pocket movement. He throws an incredible seed laser over the middle of the field that you just don't see guys make. He's got incredible arm talent. But he's just so volatile, man. Throws the ball in the harm's way a lot, which is why he's kind of in that same category for me. But, man, this guy makes some special throws, and Geno Smith has won 2 in a row there in Seattle as we stand here today. So let me know, or not let me know. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you haven't already for daily informative NFL videos every single day from the crew here at Chat Sports. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. And if you like videos like this, make sure you click that subscribe button right now. Okay, now we get to the good starters here, where these are the guys that I consider to be teams that can win with, consistently. They bring a certain level of consistency here, but there is some sort of limitation that's holding them back from really ascending to a higher tier. So we'll start with Russell Wilson here, who I think is a perfect fit for Pittsburgh. He's still very clutch. He's top 10 all-time in game-winning drives and fourth-quarter comebacks, and he's still very clutch. He's had 2 potential game-winning touchdown passes in just 5 games with the Steelers. Throws a great deep ball, but his limitation is he doesn't throw over the intermediate part of the field all that well, and he does hold on to the ball a bit too long and takes unnecessary sacks, so I think he fits in nicely here at 19. Number 18, we got a couple of rookies here. Bo Nix, I'm going to have slightly below Jaden Daniels, and I know Bo Nix over the last month has played better than Jaden, but I think in the long run here, if you ask most people, if you had one game to save your life, which one are you taking? I think most people are taking Jaden Daniels. Now, Bo Nix has shown some really good things. He's really good within structure. He throws with really good accuracy. He's got some pretty decent arm talent, too, and he's a very underrated playmaker outside the pocket as well. But Jaden has got that lightning quick release. He throws with incredible touch down the field. And then, yes, he has that dynamic rushing ability, which I just think takes him to a whole nother level compared to Bo Nix. But both of these guys are the front runners for Offensive Rookie of the Year, and both of them are playing good ball this season. Number 16, I'll go with Kirk Cousins, and his limiting factor is arm strength at this point in his career. You can definitely see he's got a little bit less zip on his football, but man, he's got great mental processing ability. He throws it to all levels of the field. He does a really good job within the pocket and within structure. He's still a very good NFL starter at this point in his NFL career, even if his arm strength is starting to diminish. Number 15, Cowboys fans might think I'm a little bit low on Dak Prescott here, but he combines kind of a limited skill set in my opinion. Can't really elevate an offense with the fact that he really hasn't played all that well in the postseason in his NFL career. All right, so I think Dak Prescott is somebody that fluctuates between this good starter tier and the high-end starter tier between years. This year, with the dipping of the production there in Dallas with him at quarterback before he got injured, I have to put him at number 15. So our next tier here, high-end starters. So these are the quarterbacks who are somewhat limited in their skill set, but are highly effective passers within the right offense. All right, so we'll start with somebody that I think Packers fans are going to hate me for having this low, but I have Jordan Love. And the reason why I have Jordan Love at the tail end of this tier here is because his accuracy and his decision-making are really, really volatile, and they change week to week. One week, you could be unbelievable and a bona fide top 6 quarterback in this league, and he's looking unbelievable. The next week, he's making inaccurate passes, he's throwing the ball in harm's way, and he's just not all that consistent. He needs to get to a higher level of consistency, at least for me, to feel comfortable putting him higher on this list, but there's no doubt about it. He's got incredible arm talent. Number 13, Baker Mayfield is a really, really effective quarterback in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. And even with guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin getting hurt this year, his top 2 receivers at some point this season, he's still playing really good football, and he's making it work with other guys like freaking Sterling Shepard this season. So Baker Mayfield, really good mental processor. He's really, really decisive, which I love. I really like Baker Mayfield. I'm higher than him on most in this league. Then number 12, I got Tua Tagovailoa. And Tua gets a bad rap because he doesn't provide much out of structure, he doesn't play great in the cold, and he doesn't really move, and he doesn't have the best arm strength. But man, the things he does well, he does at an elite level. Footwork, anticipation, mental processing. There's pretty much nobody in this league that does those things better than Tua Tagovailoa, and he is a perfect fit for that Miami Dolphins offense. I mean, just look at the production that Dolphins offense is getting right now since Tua came back in the lineup. He takes advantage of those playmakers, and he knows exactly where to get to the football. Rarely takes sacks as well. I love Tua's game, man. He is a little bit limited with his skill set, but man, he operates that offense better than just about anybody could in this National Football League today. Number 11, another similar type of quarterback, Jared Goff. Now, Goff ranks higher than Tua because he throws the football harder, right? He has the better arm, all right? He can really rifle that football in the tight windows the same way, not in the same way Tua can. But he's also a really high-level mental processor, especially over the middle of the field. He knows where to go with the football. He's a perfect fit for that offense with Ben Johnson there in Detroit. He's having a hell of a season, and he deserves this number 11 ranking. Number 10, I'll go with Jalen Hurts. And, Jalen is kind of the opposite to Jared Goff and Tua, where Jalen isn't a great mental processor. He's usually a one-read and dip kind of quarterback. But, man, when he dips and he goes outside of the pocket and he works outside of structure, he's really finicky, man. He's really tough to bring down as a rusher because he's just so thick and he's so strong. And then also, he's really good throwing on the run and outside of the pocket as a playmaker. He keeps his eyes down the field. Like, it's just so frustrating playing against Jalen Hurts. At this point, he's kind of more of like a game manager type quarterback there in Philly, and he does have his limitations, but he definitely elevates that offense in certain degrees as well. Plus, he's got a great deep ball. Number 9, C.J. Stroud. Now, C.J.'s been falling down my list a little bit here incrementally throughout this season. He throws too many balls in the harm's way, but man, his anticipation is off the charts. His arm talent is incredible, and I think his pocket presence is really, really special as well. He certainly has the talent to get back into the star tier for me, but right now he dips a little bit into this high-end starter category. And then number 8, I have Brock Purdy, and Purdy might be the most underappreciated quarterback in football today because he's small and he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league within structure. And then he also provides a playmaking element out of structure, which allows Kyle Shanahan to be right even when he's wrong. Brock Purdy's been the best part of that San Francisco 49ers offense this year, not their run game. He's actually had a really good season throwing the ball down the field once again, despite a lack of weapons with Ayuk now out for the season. Debo hasn't been the same player. Brock Purdy is certainly somebody that I consider a high-end starter in this league right now. Let me get to the bona fide star quarterbacks here. These are the guys that consistently elevate the players around them. and their roster overall on offense. All right, so these are the guys that can make incredible plays, play within structure and out of structure, and really elevate whatever team that they're on. We'll start with number 7 with Matthew Stafford. Now, Stafford maybe is more trustworthy than number 6 and number 5 in the playoffs and in a playoff setting. But Stafford isn't as mobile as some of these other guys. Still love his arm talent, love his ability to target the middle of the field, love his clutch factor, love his pocket presence. He is a bona fide star quarterback. Already is number 7 for me. Then we get number 6, Justin Herbert. And I love Herbert's game as well, man. Incredible arm talent. We all see it from a week-to-week basis. Great playmaker out of structure as well. And, he's really elevating that Chargers passing attack right now with Greg Roman not being the best play caller in the league. Now, number 5, this might tick some people off because, he's small, and people don't like small quarterbacks being ranked high on these lists. But Kyler Murray is targeting the middle of the field better than just about any quarterback in football, despite his size. He throws with incredible accuracy. Now, obviously, he didn't play all that well against Seattle, where it was colder. It was rainy there in Seattle last week. So I don't really take that performance and panic. I think Kyler Murray has been phenomenal all season. He has elevated that Arizona offense and team this year. It certainly looks like the Cardinals have a shot to make the playoffs because of the efforts of Kyler Murray. I think he's an incredible talent. Well, now we get to the 4 guys at the top here. These are the best of the best, the super weapons, the guys that every single team in the NFL hope to get when they draft a quarterback in the top 5 of the NFL draft. Number 4, I got Lamar Jackson. And honestly, guys, 4 through 2, you can really rank however you want. It really is razor-thin margins here. The reason why Lamar is down at number 4 is because of the postseason performance. I don't trust Lamar as much as I trust the other 2 guys. Number 3, I'm going to go with Joe Burrow, and I feel so bad for Joe because he's playing so good this year, but his defense and the situational ball just has not been good enough in Cincinnati. It's led to a lot of losses, even though they have one of, if not the best passing offense in the league because of his efforts. He's playing MVP caliber football right now, but because the team's not winning, he's not going to win it, and he's not going to get the love that he deserves, but he's having an incredible season. He's number 3 for me. Number 2, Josh Allen. Now, you might say, Josh Allen's never won a Super Bowl. He's never been to a Super Bowl. Why does Lamar get the nick for postseason play, but not Josh Allen? Well, Josh has gone toe-to-toe with Kansas City multiple times and has nearly beaten them multiple times in the postseason. Now, he's come up just short, but he has had high-level performances in the playoffs against that team, whereas Lamar Jackson certainly has not. All right, he has shrunk against teams like Kansas City in the postseason, whereas Josh Allen just got the short end of the stick playing against our number 1 quarterback here in Patrick Mahomes. And now Mahomes isn't the best quarterback statistically, but he's just been in so many big moments, and he is like he has that Tom Brady effect where like he always comes out in these kind of closer matchups here where you just have to give him this number 1 spot. He's got incredible playmaking instincts, great arm talent, all that stuff, and he's the most clutch quarterback in football. So you got to go Patrick Mahomes, number 1 on your list. So what say you guys? Let me know down there in the comments section. Is Patrick Mahomes still the best quarterback in the NFL today, or is it somebody else? Let me know down there in the comments section. Is Mahomes still the best QB in the world? Make sure you give me a follow on X if you guys haven't already. I provide daily NFL content for you guys where you guys can find me at Jack_Sperry if you want more NFL analysis like we had today. And then you guys can click that subscribe button because we provide you guys free and informative NFL content every day here on Chat Sports. So if you want more of that, click that subscribe button. Until next time, guys, peace out.